But beyond that, as I kind of reflected on what I wanted to share with you all today, I was looking for something to help kind of communicate why this is important to us and why we take this so seriously. And I thought of, or was reminded of a parable that I've read recently. And the parable is about talents, and when you're given talents. So there were a master who left and went on a trip and gave 3 of his servants on his departure some talents. He gave them according to their ability. 1 received 5, 1 received 2, and 1 received 1. And upon his return, or upon his departure, the one who received 5 immediately went out and doubled the 5. He took what was given to him and made it better. The one that received 2 did the exact same thing. The one that received 1 took that one precious talent and dug a hole and buried it. And when the master returned back to set up and to ask, what have you done? The one with 5 said, I've doubled those talents. I've now gave you 5 talents more. The one with 2, I've now given you 2 talents more. And the one with 1 said, I was afraid, so I didn't do anything with the talent. See, in our district, we've been given many talents. When you see stuff like the physical infrastructure, our bond, that's a talent that was given to us. Our responsibility when receiving that talent is to double it. And so you see all the construction that's going around, and you see the impact that that talent and doubling that talent has on student learning. Students feel pride. Parents feel pride about their community because they have up-to-date infrastructure, 21st century learning environments for their students. Not dilapidated and falling apart. We take pride in ensuring that we use those talents that we've been given by this community in an appropriate way by doubling it. Parents bring us their students. That's a talent. That's our responsibility that when we give that student back, we have doubled that talent. So whether that student comes to us with 1 talent, 3 talents, 5 talents, what do we do? How do we invest in that student so that when his or her time is done in our school district, we give back to that parent, we give back to this community in a talent that has been doubled. When businesses come into our community, that's a talent. How do we strengthen and amplify the impact of that business for this entire community? That's the mindset of this district. And it takes all of us. It starts with our board of trustees and administration, our school administration, our teachers, you all, our parents. We are all responsible for taking the talents that we've been given and doubling it, because we are fortunate and blessed to be members of this community and this school district. And so we have an opportunity to continue to invest in our community, continue to invest in our district, but most importantly, continue to invest in our students. And it pays off. One of the ways it pays off, and one of the ways it's measured, it's not the only way, but it's a way that we can ensure that we are moving in the right direction. You probably saw a little earlier, and I think we're going to play a clip about the K-12 District of the Year. You also know, probably have seen tweets from the things that our students are saying about our partnerships, or our students are saying about being premiered in the school district. And you know about the various accolades and awards that our district has received. So take that information, receive that information as talents, and let's reinvest those talents into our community so that when we say, and when you say, that Richland School is an excellent district, it's a premier district, it's a district of choice where every school is an excellent choice, what type of learning experience would you like for your student? I can show you or place you in a home near a school that will give you that learning experience that your staff, that your student deserves, because we're going to invest in them, and we're going to produce we're going to produce what they expect us to produce. We're going to treasure that talent that they gave us. So I'm going to leave you all with the video, and after the video plays again, I'll say to you all, thank you so much for partnering with our school district. Again, thank you to our board for all that you do. This is a partnership between the board, administration, and you all in this community. And I think we're doing a phenomenal job of doing that, and we'll continue to put kids first in everything that we do. Thank you.
And the K-12 2021 School District of the Year. Roger Ritter, the editor of K-12 explains what K-12 is and how it selects the School District of the Year.
Yeah, so K-12 is a business news publication for principals and superintendents focused on providing insight and analysis of the news and trends that impact school and district operations. K-12 has been around since early 2012, so this is the 10th year that the publication has existed. And the initial idea that we still kind of strive for today is to not just give school administrators and district administrators the news that's impacting them, but to provide analysis and context for why that news is going to impact the way that they do their job, and how they can prepare for those impacts, and what the best practices are to navigate changes in policy, trends in innovation in ed tech, new school models, anything that's going to change the way that they do their job from day to day. Basically comes from the coverage that we do throughout the year. So as we're writing articles and digging into different stories that we've heard about, everyone on the team will kind of make notes of who's really standing out to us throughout the year. And we'll revisit that later on. We'll cross-reference that with what we hear from principals and superintendents from different schools and districts across the country as far as who they think is standing out. Sometimes we'll reach out to some sources that we have at the principal associations and the superintendent associations, groups like that. And then we'll kind of around midway through the year meet and start kind of narrowing down the list of who we want to consider when we get closer into the fall. So it's really a lot of it is just who we heard about, who really stood out to us as we were covering stories throughout the year. There's not really a sort of process where anyone applies for it or gets nominated by anyone outside of K-12 at least not normally. The closest to any sort of nomination, if you wanted to call it that, would be from other principals or superintendents, just sort of singing the praise of their peers in other schools and districts.
When one considers other school districts, according to U.S. News and World Report, in 2020, South Carolina ranked 44th in education out of the 50 states. So how could a school district in a state ranked 44th nationally be selected as the school district of the year?
It's something that I've always tried to kind of spotlight, is that just because a state is ranked a certain way doesn't mean that there aren't standout districts and schools within that state. One of the things that really jumped out at us was Superintendent Davis's Premier 100 initiative, which is focused on recruiting and retaining educators of color. And that, I think, is really important because in a lot of instances, especially men of color in education, they tend to get funneled into these positions where they're more like a disciplinarian, as opposed to in a sort of mentorship role or role model type of situation. So I think the Premier 100 stands out on that front. The other thing that we really liked a lot was Dr. Davis's commitment to engaging with the community and ensuring that they understand the importance of these programs and initiatives, as well as bond measures and referendums that have been successfully passed. Even if the parent doesn't agree with Dr. Davis, we ultimately see, wow, we have to move in this direction, because if we don't, it's going to be detrimental to kids in 2 or 3 years. So it's the transparency and the willingness to just put these things out there and make sure that the community fully understands the need for them on the part of Dr. Davis and the rest of the administration in the district really stood out, because I think it says a lot about the work that the district is doing when the community is time and again willing back bond measures, referendums, and things like that too. A lot of districts have approached these things in different ways, but I think that it was, in Richland 2's case, the combination of all of them, the amount of attention and dedication on behalf of everyone that we talked to in the district, from parents to teachers to principals to Dr. Davis himself, just the amount of engagement with the community on those things as well, that the community was invested in these things, really stood out to us. Because in some cases you'll find a district that's working on maybe several of these things, but they're further along on one than they are on the other. Because it's really hard to kind of do all these things in tandem and do them really well all at the same time. And from what we could see, Richland 2 has really found the right balance when it comes to making sure that all of these initiatives and programs get the right amount of attention and have an equal amount of focus, because they all ultimately feed into each other.
Richland School District 2 is honored to be named the K-12 Dive 2021 School District of the Year. To K-12 Dive, we extend a heartfelt thank you. In future stories, we will dive into some of the attributes that made K-12 Dive take a closer look at our school district as we celebrate Richland School District 2, the K-12 Dive 2021 School District of the Year.
It's really nice meeting you. I hope you have a good rest of your day.